What has happened has happened. I am aware that I made the right decision. The question remains, are we all making the right decisions?
The first reads Sahid, the second reads Mother, the third reads Mumbabi, the fourth reads Jericho, the fifth reads Hieronymus, the sixth reads Rin, and the last reads Hanuki. What is carved on that one before you? I do not recognize that name.
That is because that name has no meaning.
Of course it doesn't, Hakotay. As you yourself have said, perhaps it is not you that needs to face your trial.
He is my brother.
It looks at you all, then smiles and says,
He approaches. Through the void he comes. No tree can banish him. He is eternal. I am his herald. I am Baal.
a valley becomes visible. There is a village below. In the center of the village, you see a church, and on its outskirts, close towards the river, you see a group of caravans.
This was where it all began. This is where I was born.
Welcome back, adventurers, to this, Chapter 29 of a cast of players, The Blood Temple. In this, the second to last episode...
You could say it's the penultimate episode.
I was thinking about it, but I was...
But he couldn't say the word.
I can't say the word.
It's easy for you to say.
I practiced
Penultimate?
See, now it's a thing now. It's a thing now.
Penultimate.
Yeah.
Penultimate.
Penultimate?
Is that it?
Penultimate?
Penultimate.
I don't know. Who knows?
That's it. The second to last episode. I hope you're all excited. I certainly am. Let's just dive straight in.
Okay.
So you were arriving at this village, which Hakote has told you is his village from his childhood. You're walking down into the valley, and as you enter the village, you all hear a sound. Now this sound is of a fiddle playing somewhere within the village. The song has a melancholic feel to it, and as you listen to it, you feel a pang of sadness in your soul. It's beautiful, but troubling at the same time. You all recognize this song as the song Hakote had played previously on his fife.
I was about to say we should stay here. It looks very nice. Now I've changed my mind.
Yeah, it's not the nicest of places. What do you do? So the song's continuing to play.
Yeah, I can't hear a direction. Is it just?
It just seems to be kind of coming from all around you.
Yeah. I head into the village. I'm going to head towards the village square and the heart of the village, which is where the old church was.
Sure. Okay.
Unless something happens, but that's the general direction.
General direction.
That I'm leading everyone.
I'll follow.
Well, you start to do that, but then the song finishes. And when it does, it's almost like someone has switched on a light switch. So you're stood in the same village, but it is filled with life. The villagers have all gathered in the center of town, where you see a feast is being prepared. Rows of trestle tables have been set up in front of the church, surrounding a newly dug fire pit. 2 pigs are being roasted on fire spits, as well as other foods being cooked in large pots. The young women of the village are tending to the food and moving about the tables with urns of ale and flagons. The people of the village remind you of Hakote. They look like his people. But when you turn to ask Hakote where they are, you see he is not there.
Oh, excuse me. I was just leading them.
Oddly, this does not seem to worry any of you. Such is the smell of the delicious foods being cooked, you cannot help but be drawn towards the feast. Festive music starts to play. You forget all about Hakote. For now.
You like a feast, don't you, Chef?
I do like a feast. I'll make a good feast, I'll have you know.
He does. And that's where we're going to leave the rest of the party just for a moment.
I honestly thought you were about to say, and that's where we're going to leave this session.
Wow!
Now, chapter 30, the ultimate episode.
We're going straight in, baby! As the fiddle stops playing for you, Hakote, you suddenly see your friend's eyes glaze over. They walk off as in a dream towards the center of town.
So they just overtake me and...
You're still in the same village that you were moments before.
Right, there's no one there other than people.
Other than, and your friends.
Is the tune still playing?
It has stopped. To your left, a door creaks open on one of the village huts. You recognize this hut as your childhood home.
I spin on my heels, turn to face it.
You hear a voice. Enter.
I walk towards it and I ignore my friends.
Sure. Your hut is just how you remember it from your childhood. The floor is made from soil. Herbs and various charms hang from the ceiling. To the right-hand side are the children's beds, made from straw and reeds. Above them is the loft where your parents' bed was found, that can be accessed by a wooden ladder that led up to it. To the left is a large wooden table with chairs, and there are various wooden cupboards and shelves. At the table, you see a woman sitting. She's completely naked, but her head is not a human head. It is a goat's. You hear the same voice. Sit.
I step in through the doorway. My eyes linger on one of the small cots. I then look at her and I sit at the opposite end of the table and put my hands on the table in front of me.
She slowly and deliberately pulls a tomahawk from beneath the table and places it in front of you. You recognize it as your father's tomahawk. Take it.
You
would give me what he used?
You will need it.
I turn and spit on the ground.
If you say so.
I stand, because it was a very small, very modest home. The table's not that long. I'm able to reach over and take the axe. I'm looking at this creature directly in the eyes whilst I do.
She's just kind of going there, just regarding you for a moment.
Now, join your friends. They seem hungry. Aren't we all?
And I take the axe from her. I then reposition the size, making sure that they're on the back. I was currently having one with quick access, and I put the axe to pair with the other one through the other loop. So now I've got 2 tomahawks ready for quick access. I turn and I go to leave. I stop in the doorway, turn my head.
Is this it? Is this your test? No. It is coming. You will see.
I turn and I leave and I walk to try and catch up with the others.
We cut back to the rest of the party. So by now, the rest of you have joined the feast. A group of villagers invited you to join them at their table. Your stomachs are rumbling as plates of food are delivered to you. The smell is intoxicating. You have all almost forgotten the trials and tribulations of the past days, months, years. Who can say? But you feel happy. Everything seems perfect. Almost. All of you have this slither of doubt that something is not right. But it is fading quickly. But you can't help but ask yourselves, how did you get here? You don't even remember walking to the table, or do you? But this doubt makes you pause, and for the briefest of moments, something flickers. And you think you catch a glimpse of something that you thought you were remembering from a different time, but again, you can't be sure. So I need you to make wisdom checks now, please.
11.
19.
21.
Very good.
I get a +3 as well, by the way. Haha.
Okay. What did you roll?
11.
I see. So, Jericho, this last flicker of doubt that you have completely disappears.
That's nice.
There's a plate of food in front of you, and you start to eat it. And it is delicious. It's one of the greatest meals you've ever eaten. For you two, the lights are switched back off. The feast suddenly looks very different. The food set before you is no longer inviting. The flesh is rancid and crawling with maggots. The flagons of ale are filled with bile, and the people you're sitting with are not people at all. Well, they have the bodies of people, but the heads of goats. All of them feast heartily on the food before them, as does Jericho.
I dash to sort of stop him, like.
Yeah, I immediately get up and do one of those. Look over and see that Jericho's still, munging away.
He is.
Help me, I'm Goatman now. I am one with the goats. I will end my days as Goatman.
So yeah, I join with Rin in trying to snap him out of it.
Okay, so you will have to try and break this enchantment that has taken your friend over. What is it you're going to try and do? You are assailed by these two madmen who you no longer recognize, and all they want to do is stop you eating. This, for you, is a real problem.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I pull out my knife and stab you in the hand.
Oh!
I just shout, "Wake up, you old fool!"
That's pretty cold even for me.
Wow.
Okay, very good.
Well, I know that I'm not going to be able to restrain him.
Sure.
He's far bigger and stronger than me.
Okay, can you make a wisdom check now, please?
Yes. It's a 19.
Very
That
good.
hurts.
You do snap out of it. Would you like to roll
Okay.
your damage for that for us?
Yeah, sure.
I could have put you to sleep instead.
One
Stop putting everyone to
plus,
sleep.
my strength, because I'm not going to go for like a penetrating blow. This is
Yeah.
just sort of a brute force, so it's 1 point of damage.
You take 1 point of damage, but it does shock you out. So your hand is bleeding, Jericho, and in your other hand, what you thought was a big leg of mutton is this rancid piece of meat which is hanging off. And what you can see where you've taken a huge bite out of it, there are all of these maggots and stuff kind of spinning through it like this.
Yeah.
You feel physically sick. The rest of the creatures around you kind of start looking at you as if, and they start talking in this weird guttural language to each other. It is then that you arrive, Hakote,
Right.
to see that these goat people are starting to turn on their guests. They all start to pull out rusty meat cleavers and things from underneath the table, jagged knives. They look at all of you. One of them goes, they attack you. Initiatives in just a moment. All right, let us roll for initiatives. Why don't we start with you today, Rin?
Okay, okay.
Yes.
11 plus 7 is 18.
18, very good.
4 plus 4, 8.
Okay, very good.
15.
Okay. 11. Oh, yes, and I have rolled nothing. An 11 as well. Very good.
So who goes first, me or you?
Well, we're going to roll off again.
Oh!
Yeah.
Die. It's a 3!
It's an 11 again. It was meant to be. So it
Or
will.
meant to 3.
What? Your character
Oh.
is dead.
That's it.
That's it. Remove the model.
The hand that Rin stabbed explodes.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
That's bad joke.
I cast bad joke. Right. So here is how it will go. It will go Rin. It will go Hakote. It will go. No, forgive me. It will go Rin. It will go Hieronymus. It will go Hakote. It will go the goat people, which you are now one of, apparently. And then it will go to you finally, Jericho. Last but not least, it does make sense.
That's it.
You were enchanted, befuddled, and filled.
No, it's, ah!
Yeah, and your hand, well, you're wounded. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So there we go. Rin, if you would like to kick us off, what are you going to do?
Yes. Okay, so I've stabbed you down in your hand. I see you come to your senses. Apologies. I wrench the knife out, flip it around, and throw it into this guy behind me.
Okay.
So a thrown attack is a 3 plus 6, so
It just goes well.
It was worth it.
well, I was
cool.
looking at you when I did it.
Yeah.
Then I kick off of this and jump down here. As I go, so I draw my sword as I go, drive it into the one just in front of me.
Okay.
This is my offhand attack,
Very
technically.
nice.
10 plus 6, 16.
That's a hit.
That will do a total of 3 plus 4, 7 points of damage. And then for my Gloomstalker attack,
Okay.
every time it's
Classic.
4 plus
And you
6.
often roll a 4 for it specifically.
Yeah.
Just- yeah.
I tend not to notice
Yeah.
because it's my entire class feature and it does nothing.
yeah.
Right, so you stab this goat person. It kind of cries out in pain. They sound a little bit like Chewbacca's. Like that. But what you notice is the blood that comes out is black ichor, much like what the miniature Ibahu melted into. Very good. That is that done. We will now come over to Hieronymus.
Right. So, yeah, so I imagine there's a bunch of like plates and stuff full of rotten food in front of me. I look to the guy to my right to my left, and I clench my fists and go breaking some plates and stuff. They kind of, the shards fly up in the air, and then I just grab him in midair and go into the guy to the left of me.
So you'll take D4 damage on yourself because you just smashed a plate.
Oh, come on now. How hard do you smash a plate to hurt yourself?
Well, you saw the description. It was very hard.
I'm
a hard boy.
Go on then.
Okay, magic missile, first level spell.
Okay, and you're doing it all into one.
All into the one guy.
Okay, very good.
Very good. This is a 1 + 1 is 6 points of damage.
6
to
points
him.
of damage.
Still better than that usual shocking grasp.
Oh!
Thanks for reminding me, Lauren.
You're welcome.
Is it your turn now? Off you go, mate.
It is your turn.
It is, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so you threw your knife into this one.
I
right?
attempted to.
Yeah.
And where did the magic missile go?
Into this guy here.
This guy.
Okay, I emerge from, basically off there we've got the pathway into the rest of the village. And I emerge around a tree. I see what's happening. One of the axes, my father's axe, comes up into my hand and I launch it, because I can throw it 6 squares is my understanding, hand axes.
Sure.
I throw it into
I think it's
that.
4, but
is it
you're
only
well
4?
within 4.
Yeah, I think that is
You'll-
just
you'll
4
be-
in fact.
you'll be
yeah.
within 4.
So I throw to be honest, it's just a description. So I throw the axe at him and it suddenly lands hard into this creature's chest. I run at him, chasing the axe, and then when I get there, the other axe comes down onto its skull. And then I put my hand on the hilt and take them both out.
Very good.
Right, so to hit. 5 + 6, 11.
No.
Nope. And then the second one, 17 + 6 would be 23.
That's a hit.
So damage-wise, because this would then therefore not be
This would be the offhand
an
attack.
axe, so it's just D4. And it is the maximum. It's a 4 + 4, and he's already taken some damage. So
No, he missed. This was the
Oh, he missed, of course.
Sort of.
Yeah,
step past,
of
'cause
course.
So how much damage did you do?
8 damage.
8 damage. Very nice.
So I get there and remove both the axes.
Well, that's what does the damage.
Blood! Okay, very good. We will now go on to the goat people. Yes. Okay, so let me just do some movements around here. So he's just taken the magic missile plates in the face. He comes at you. He comes at you. You're kind of engaged in combat. He'll come around there. He runs around the table. His friend comes to help over here. And then I can't just remove this from it. Yep, 2 more. And they will run 1 into you, Hieronymus, and then another into Jericho, the wall. So these 2 goat people come at you, Hieronymus. They've both got these jagged, rusty knives, and they just run over, screaming this weird goat man, woman / odd sound as they plunge their knives both into your back because you're not facing them. They pierce both of your shoulder blades, rendering your arms useless. You drop to the ground. You are dead. No. No, hang on. What is your...
10.
Actually, it is 2 hits. It's 2 hits there, unfortunately for you.
Here we go again, folks.
Here it comes.
All the wounds.
Here we-
Are a wizard. Like, you're not difficult to hit.
I know.
So you take a total of 11 damage as both of these knives are plunged deep into your sides. 2 of them that are coming at you, Jericho, so you're kind of still like, you've just kind of like vomited your stomach up with all of this.
All in my beard.
Yeah, it's all in, and you kind of look up to see these 2 running at you, and you're kind of like going to draw your sword, but before you get there, one of them comes down with a it's some sort of meat cleaver, just goes, removes your hand. The other one comes over the top and hits you in the throat. You are also dead next to Hieronymus. Here we go. 1 is a hit.
Wow.
We'll do that one on the throat because that's quite savage, isn't it? You take a total of 6 damage as you are cut across the throat by these 2 there. Now, Rin, you have 3 of these on you as now. So you've just essentially you've kind of done your jump up in there and you've landed, done the step, you've thrown this, and as you land and you kind of stab and you kind of stand up to your full height, you're just swarmed by these 3 goat people. They're just trying to pull you down and kind of stab you and bite at you and all this sort of gross things.
A fair fight.
One is a hit, the other two unfortunately will miss. So yeah, you've kind of batted off the other two, and then you kind of look up, and this meat cleaver just goes straight in the middle of your head. But unfortunately for me, you only take 3 damage. We then go over to Hakote. So you seem to have 2 of them attacking you, don't you? Yes. So the one that you've just kind of pulled the axes out of, you get sprayed with this torrent of black blood as you're kind of going like, it's really gross. But this thing kind of cries out, but then it just swings down with this rusty knife and just slashes across your face, while the one behind it stabs you in the back, going for some sort of pincer attack here.
Pincer attack.
I've rolled a 1 and a 2.
A deadly crab.
That is them done. We will now come to Jericho.
Yes.
So
I've been rudely awakened. I was having a lovely time eating this delicious meal. I then get stabbed in the hand, which is fair enough. And then I get slashed in the throat.
Yeah.
So he's a very angry man.
I would be.
Very angry man. He has noticed, however, that Hieronymus is in a spot of bother. So I imagine he's sort of, from now, he's going to attempt to keep these other 2 back that are on him.
Yeah.
But I am going to go for the guy with the mace there that is attacking Hieronymus.
Sure.
Take some pressure off.
Okay.
I am.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah. I am, as a bonus action, going to do Hunter's Mark on Mace Boy. 14 plus 6, I do hit you with a 20.
Yes you do.
Yes, I do. None of that nonsense, please. So, I do 15 points of damage.
15 points of damage.
My Hunter's Mark, which was a 6.
Very, very powerful stuff.
Yes.
Okay, so he is...
Shall I remove him
No.
from this existence and the next?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I do imagine that the blade
what about the one
goes
after
pretty
that?
deeply through his chest.
Yeah.
Just missing his vital organs.
Yeah.
He just gets some of the not so vital organs.
So and you kind of pierce this creature, and it does like a alerts from the first Lord of the Rings. It just starts pulling itself towards you up the blade, just go. But it is still very badly damaged, but is still alive. Very good. So we will now come over to Rin.
Okay. Seeing the 4 of them in front of me, but seeing the impact that's happened off to the side as Hakote has joined the fray, I turn my head to the one that's behind Hakote that swung out at him. He's dodged. I hit to miss, so I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on him. I draw my scimitar, so that's my bonus action for the Hunter's Mark. Free action to draw my weapon. I look at the 4 in front, and I sort of, And I cross my swords and do disengage. So no attack of opportunity here.
A little one.
No. I move back to here. So I sort of kick. I thought the candle moved. So I'm on top of the table for the sake of it. I'm next to Hakote, looking at the other one. I just say, "Nice of you to join the party. All yours." That is my turn.
Very nice. Okay, well then it comes to Hieronymus.
Yes. So I've had these 2 rusty knives embedded into the like around the back of my shoulders kind of thing.
Yeah.
I kind of leaned down.
You died.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Come on, man. So I remember I kind of like winced down for a moment, but then I kind of start to take these knives. I go. And release them from my shoulders. I'm in a lot of pain, but I look to without even looking actually, I just kind of go like that, and almost like they've been slingshotted out to the sides. I throw the daggers right back into them. I'm doing magic missile at 2nd level. There we go. They're both taking 2 darts each.
Okay.
Double death. Double death. Okay. Come on now.
Okay.
Die now.
Okay.
Die now.
Oh yeah.
That's the maximum big boy everything, so they both take 10 points of damage each.
Okay, very good.
No, wait. Yeah.
That was the maximum big boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one that you had already struck yourself is not killed, but this thing goes and it's just stuck in its chest. It's going. The one, however, that was also attacking you, which you had already.
Mace Boy.
Mace Boy. Mace Boy is dead.
Nice.
So this thing actually, so it's pulling itself up, trying to get to you, and Jericho's kind of going, and then suddenly this blade just goes straight through its head, just goes, and just falls dead to the ground.
My blade is free.
Yes.
Come here now.
Very-
Come here now. Okay.
Hakote, we come to you.
I have left them wide open for you.
Yeah, thank you. Right. Hakote sees a whole line of goat people before him.
Yes.
As I pull my axes out of the body, I then bring them together in a cross-slash maneuver. And as I do the final slash out, I scream and a torrent of, well, I can only get,
What was it, 15 feet?
yeah, so I can only get 3 max.
You can get 4, it's 4 in a row.
Well, yeah, but it's each person takes up a 5-foot square, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can only, therefore, by definition, only get 3. I will do
No.
a torrent of flame, burning hands.
Okay.
It sets them alight, sir.
Oh, yes, very
you can
good.
make DC 12 saves or
Okay.
suffer my
On
wrath.
3 of them, is
3d6
it?
damage. On 3 of them, please.
I pass with 2. I fail with 1.
Is that going to be the one in front
The
of
one,
me?
yeah, the one in front of you obviously is
Just for
the one that
cinematic.
fails. Yeah.
3d6 damage. 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage. The other 2 will only take 3 points of damage.
Okay, so he takes 7 points.
Yeah.
He is not killed, but he is on fire.
Yeah, and then what I will do is, as a bonus action, I'll do. Oh no, actually, no, I can't do that. I don't think. Oh no, I can. Yeah, I get
yeah,
my
you
bonus.
keep your
Yeah,
key
I
attack,
do
yeah,
my
you can.
key attack anyway. So once that finishes, I then bring both the axes across its neck, gladiator style, and the head goes
Excellent.
into the air. Critical. It's 16 plus 6.
Yeah, well, that's a hit.
Yes. That is 6 points.
And this is
more
the one you already
damage.
hit? Yeah,
Yes.
it is removed from existence.
Yes, the head, the goat head is removed, and the human body falls limp to the floor. And then I turn to you.
Come on, you've got to give me something.
Absolutely, I turn to you and I say, I like to bring fire to the party.
Nice.
And that is me done.
That's very good. It will now come to the goat people. So, half of these guys are on fire. They're running around. They're having a terrible time suddenly, but they do give chase.
No.
He comes over here. You've removed the model already, have you?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so he comes to here.
Remove the
So
model.
they're removed. And then these guys will come. He's going to go for Jericho. And then, ooh, you're going to come over to Rin. So you've got 2 of them fighting you on the table, Rin. You are now in combat with 2 of those guys there. You've got 3 on you, Jericho, and Hieronymus. You are still
outnumbered. Good.
Yes. Hieronymus, you are still fighting one of them there. Now, so there's one left. I'm going to start with him. Okay. So you've just done. It was another magic missile. Mm-hmm. So his friend has been like thrown off Jericho's blade and kind of crumples to the ground. This thing actually caught the other blade because in the head as well, but it's just still running toward you. Just comes at you there. The meat cleaver comes up. It swings down across your face and removes your nose. It removes it.
You need your nose to live.
Yeah.
On an 18, it certainly is a hit. Say goodbye to your nose. You take a total of 5 damage.
Goodbye, nose.
Got your nose. Oh! Move on to the 3 on Jericho. So yeah, you've just kind of flicked this one off, and you look up to see these 3 more of these things are going coming around the corner. You're kind of like trying to beat them off. It's almost like they're trying to pull you to the ground to like hack you apart, and you get the feeling that once that happens, you will be consumed. They all lash out at you with their meat cleavers. Hoi, hoi, hoi! You are cocked. That was 1 hit. So you batter 2 of them off with their shield, and as you do that, this cleaver just goes crunk, finds a kink in your chainmail, pierces through it into your heart. You take a total of 8 damage.
8!
Okay.
We then have the 2 that are fighting you on the table. So you're up on the table. So
Yeah.
they're trying to crawl up there, and you're kind of like going king, king, fighting them off. 2 of them try to get purchase on there. 1 is a miss, so you manage to like boot him in the face. 1, however, is a hit. You take a total of 5 damage as this. So you kind of kick the other one off, and as you kick him, like this cleaver just comes down across the leg. We come over to the 2 that are now fighting with you, Hakote. So one of them is with the guy who is still
he was still, yeah, he was still behind you. So you were
Yes,
dealing with
that's
that.
right. I just dodged his blow.
Yeah, you just dodged it, but then the other guy who's now on fire has kind of run
Yeah,
towards you.
yeah.
These two kind of have like rusty knives, and they're kind of trying to pierce your skin. You do try to dodge, however, but can you? You cannot with either of them. They both hit.
Yeah.
You take a total of 11 damage.
Nice.
Yes, you are pierced on both sides. Splack, splack. Okay, very good. That is all of them.
Carved up.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, there's going to be a second feast, and you're on the menu.
Nice.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. Very good. Jericho, it comes to you.
Okay, after taking that pretty devastating blow, actually, what he'll do next is push him back with the blade, which frees itself from my shoulder.
Yes.
My bonus action will be to move my Hunter's Mark to this
Creature of Doom.
Creature of Doom. 12 plus 6 is 18.
That's a hit.
Die. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points of damage.
10 points of
You're
damage. Yes, he is. So this guy has not been hit yet. No, he hasn't. Okay, very good. Yeah, it's this mighty blow. You just take this rend out of its chest. It just kind of splits open, and all this black blood just pours out and just starts to spray all over you. It is not killed, but it is heavily wounded. Well done. We come now to Rin.
Wait, so I'm kind of up here, really.
Yes.
Oh, I've knocked over the glass and stuff, but that's fine.
Well,
That's basically what's going to happen.
Yeah, well,
anyway.
you're in a
Yeah, I'm in a
combat.
melee.
This is what
So,
happens.
sorry.
I take a step round here, so that I can attack this guy behind me because he's the one with the Hunter's Mark on.
Yeah.
So I will take an attack of opportunity from the guy with the torch.
Sure. I'll just do that quickly now.
Sure.
He misses. Carry on.
So I step off to the side. As I go, I basically jump onto the end of the table. It flips up, hitting the one in front of me, like up on his chin because he's trying to crawl up. Whilst that's happening, I stab my short sword behind me into the Hunter's Mark guy.
Yeah.
And then for flavour, the bonus action or for my offhand attack is that kick of the table into the guy in front of me. Chin.
Sure.
So the one behind me is a 4 plus 6, so 10.
Nope.
And then the table attack is a 14 plus 6, so 20.
That's a hit. Very good.
So that would be a total of 5 points.
5 points of damage. Now, he had already been a bit flamed. And when this thing snaps up into, it's almost like the last embers of the fire kind of like bust off his face. And you just hear his jaw kind of go, and he goes, so you took 5 points, was it?
5 points.
Okay, cool. We come over to Hieronymus.
Right. So, yeah, so this guy's just kind of really cleaved me down. I imagine it's like a big scar just forms around the side of my face like
Nose
that.
is gone.
I want my nose. Can I have a scar instead?
Got your nose.
Scars are cool. Let me have a scar.
We'll talk about it.
Use
about
the
it later.
shards of your nose bones to cast magic missile.
Oh!
Ooh.
I have another idea.
I'm going to take my nose back.
Put it back in. No. The knife that was used to kill the guy that I killed, I grab it and I kind of sling it across myself like that.
Yeah.
It lands into these midriff, and then I go like this and go like that. It kind of cleaves him up the middle like that, and I turn him into a Y shape.
Okay.
Oh.
So what are you casting?
Let's piss off! Level 1, die! So 2 plus 1 is 3 times 3 is 9. Is he dead?
He's very dead.
Yeah.
He was already, Skull Mammal's already very badly wounded. He is destroyed as you
That'll
you
teach
do
him.
exactly what you do. We now welcome to Hakote.
Okay, so the one also engaging with me has also got flames just looking off of him. I bring one of the axes around to hamstring, just behind the knee, hook it, put him on his back, and then the other axe comes down onto his skull. I'm gonna, obviously I'll do the other one as an offhand attack. But
Sure.
Just for the description. Right, 2 hits. 5 plus 6 is an 11.
It's a miss.
The second, 8 plus 6 is 14.
A miss.
Oh, really? Okay. Then I will spend
key
a
point?
key point to try and get another. No, I missed all 3 times.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
So essentially what happens is you go to do this and this thing just moves in in on you, and you kind of just get tangled up.
Yeah.
So you suddenly this
Weird grapple where it's stabbing me and
exactly.
cutting at me, probably trying to bite at me.
Yeah, there's some biting. In fact, we're going to come to the biting right now. So that's where we're at. None of them are going to move. The combats are just kind of continuing as they are. So you're now kind of stuck in this melee.
Yeah.
So you've got this one on top of you, and the other one is still attacking from behind. One is a hit, one is a miss.
Okay.
So it's actually the one that's trying to get you from behind just misses completely.
Right.
But you're now rolling around on the ground with this thing, and you just get like this little jab in the side. You take a total of 3 damage minimum. Yep, there you go. So you take 3 damage as it kind of pierces. You can't quite get anywhere. But
Now by this point, because I've actually been cut and stabbed a few times, and I've got quite a few rends across my body, and I'm actually bleeding quite badly now, and you can just sort of see the blood is starting to be, when it starts to go all over the body because, in this horrible grappling melee. I'm not looking good.
So then we have the 3 of them that continue to fight over there against you, Jericho. So you're kind of being pulled around. The one that you just slapped across the chest with your longsword there, I'm going to do him individually.
Sure.
He misses wildly.
He does.
His 2 friends trying to help. Oh, that is a critical hit.
Oh, baby.
1 is a miss, though. That is a problem for you. You take a total of, so as you fight this one off, then suddenly you just feel this cronk as this meat cleaver just hits you back in the side of your shoulder blade here.
Ouchie.
You take a total of, that would be 10 damage.
It's the same as last time.
Yeah,
That wasn't critical.
Yeah. Have I done that?
That's pitiful.
Yeah, no, only 10 damage.
It's for critical.
But I'm not doing so good.
Okay, very good. And then finally, we have the 2 attacking you over there. Rin. They both miss wildly. It seems they can't fight on top of tables. Maybe that could be a hint for everyone. Get on the tables.
The floor is lava.
Yeah, the floor is lava. Okay, but then that does come to you, Jericho.
Okay. So it was someone else hit me that time, wasn't it?
Yes.
Same guy.
Yeah,
Right.
but
I'm going to continue to attack that same one, seeing that he doesn't have much left.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him out of his misery. The 17 plus 6.
Jericho's powering up.
Yeah, he is.
That is 15 points.
He's so dead. He's so dead. You just tear him in half.
Yeah.
He literally just kind of splits, just goes the top of the body, and then just kind of lands on the ground like that.
The black ichor sprays on his compatriots.
Yeah.
And Jericho just turns to face them both like this.
Gosh, very cool.
Like this.
Rin, it comes to you.
Okay, so in a 180 spin, because Hakote's kind of like on the floor at this point. So in a 180 spin,
Do you know if any of those
with my scimitar move out, and because I'm that sort of height, I just bring it low to decapitate the one with Hunter's Mark on.
Okay.
It's a 14 plus 6.
Oh, that's a hit.
So that will be a total of 4 plus 2 plus another 4. That is brain engage 10 points of
10
slashing
points of damage. Now, this guy hasn't been hit yet, has he?
He has not.
Okay, very
so
good.
I move to decapitate him. Doesn't quite reach him, so I sort of slice him up there.
Yeah.
The short sword into his forehead. On a 15 plus 6.
Oh!
For a total of 14 points of piercing damage.
If that one does pierce his skull,
And it drops to the ground. It
shakes for a moment, and then is killed.
I have realised I forgot to do a constitution for my Hunter's Mark. A 16 I pass.
Oh, very good. Well done. Everyone's having a nice time.
I could turn back time.
Well, in the Blood Temple,
I
it
did
seems you
turn back
can.
time.
Yeah.
I'm constitute.
and then I just turn to
Constitute.
Okay, so we now come over to Hieronymus.
Yes. So this guy to my right, who's waving the staff, I turn to him, not before looking towards the table, and I see like what looks like a bowl of rancid broth.
Yeah.
So I grab this bowl and throw it in this guy's face.
It just licks it off. Just goes,
But as he's doing that, I start to make a sigil, and it starts to burn at him like acid.
Yeah.
I'm casting Ray of Sickness.
Okay, very good.
Yes. So it's a ranged attack. Come on. It's 14 plus 6 is 20.
That's a hit.
I'm doing this at second level.
An
That is
unnatural 20.
yeah, and an unnatural, yeah. So the target takes 2d8 damage, or at second level, I can do it at 3d8 damage.
Oh!
And it's poison damage, so make a Constitution saving throw on a failed save. It is also poisoned until the end of our next turn. For these guys, I don't know how relevant that is, but
Okay. He is poisoned.
all right. So what does that do to him?
He's got disadvantage on attack and ability checks.
Yes.
That's if he's alive.
Well, I guess
he's
we'll
about
see.
to take 3d8 damage.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. He is not killed,
No.
but he is very, very badly wounded. And actually, what I described did happen. Like he's just trying to lick it off his face, this broth, and it's kind of like just melting his tongue, and he just doesn't seem to care. Very good.
He's about to.
Yeah. We come over to Hakote.
Okay, so I've got this goat person on top of me. Because it's too close to actually bring the axes in now, we're in this grapple, I actually drop both the axes and drive my thumbs into its eye sockets.
Dawn of the Dead.
I start screaming and I say something which, in a language which you've not heard me speak before. And as I utter this word, the thing's head suddenly lights up with this red energy, and boom! I'm going to do thunder wave, and but it can just emanate in a 15-foot cube away from me, so I just get all three of them.
Nice.
Whilst missing.
Very good.
And his head explodes, and all of this red lightning erupts.
If you want to get
from
the third one, I will need to make a dex saving throw. But
unless I move around this way, I can just do the 15-foot cube
oh
here,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because you're up here next to me.
Yeah. I'm sort of flush with you.
Yeah, so just imagine that I've turned around and gone to this bar.
You put your thumb and you've like flipped over him to the back of him.
So you're going to make DC 12s, and it's 2d8 damage.
And there's 3 of them, is it?
There's 3 of them.
Okay, so the first one fails, the second one fails, the third one passes.
Okay, the damage, how boring, is only 4.
It's only 4, right.
So the last one takes 2. Then to represent the bonus offhand attack is the eyes in the sockets.
Yeah, so this is the one you're kind of grappling with on the
Yeah,
ground.
so that's 19.
That's a hit.
So he's taken 4 plus another 5 points of damage.
Okay, so oh, you did 5 in total there. Okay, he is killed.
Lovely.
So his head just goes, just explodes. The one that you'd been fighting with, he also takes 4 damage there, and then this other one who hasn't been hit yet, he takes 2.
Yes, and he would be pushed back. The one at Rin's feet would be pushed back 10 feet away from me as well. So he's
Allow
blown
me,
aside because that's
please.
he failed his save.
And remove the deaden.
I'll move the table back to represent that the table perhaps was blown back a bit as well.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's very good.
Nice.
That's fun, isn't it? Right, we come around.
Dynamic terrain.
But we come around to what's left of the goat. What have I got left here? Not much. We come around to the goat. So he gets blown back, and these combats kind of stay as they are. So we'll start with the one who's blown back. Comes at you with his meat cleaver. No, he misses wildly.
I'll
Kind of
catch that
blocking.
cleaver.
Yeah. That's right. Thank you. That's right. And then we also have the one which is engaged with you, Rin. So you just like put straight through someone's. Yeah, just like that. Okay. So you've got to go, and then you feel this blade get stuck into your side. You do feel that blade get stuck into your side on a critical hit.
Yeah.
Another crit.
Oh, baby! You take a total of 11 damage.
Wow.
As you are skewered through the side there. You're continued in this combat there, Jericho. The 2 of them lash out at you, but the wall stands strong. It will now come to you, Jericho. What are you going to do?
So he's still in murder mode, so I'm going to again bonus action move my hunter's mark to the one raising his staff there in defiance.
Yeah, I believe that's the one that you just attacked, isn't it? Yeah, okay,
I'll
very
cut
good.
that arm off.
Yes,
No
please.
more waving his
him now.
thing at me.
Oh, yeah.
19 plus 6. He's on fire today. We do. Woo! We do 17 17 points of slashing damage. I slash his arm off and beat him to death with that arm.
Very good. That's exactly what happened. He is so super dead.
Jericho's enraged today. He's just
He's had
Very cathartic for you right now.
yeah. It's nice. Well, I normally miss.
Yeah. Very
Okay, so we come now to Rin.
Okay,
we
so
get through
the
'em?
one that has attacked me in the side, impaled me with this rusty cleaver. It's very pleasant. I reverse grip on my sword, drive it backwards. Again, it's at that sort of level because I'm on the table. It just goes into his face. It's a 12 plus 6 AD.
Oh, yes.
That is a total of 5 plus 4, 9 points.
Okay, very good. So he's still got like a bit of electrical energy going all around him, and then it kind of, as you pierce through the face, like you feel this like almost like electric shock goes straight up your blade, but you managed to hold it because you're a Batman.
Yes. And then with that, I move over to the side. I leap over onto the other table, and as I leap, whilst maintaining the 5, oh dear, I die. So as I leap, I just sort of leap through the air and kind of go whooshing with my scimitar across his skull. 8 plus 6 is a 14. Jumping attack is a bad.
Yeah. Could it look cool?
It does look cool. But that's my turn.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
Hieronymus.
Yes. So he's going to move over to this table, and he picks up another plate of rancid food. Does the same kind of thing, kind of hoiks it over to this guy to my left there. Guy holding the skull. I'm doing Ray of Sickness again.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, that's a 2.
Misses. Yes. So this time you throw the broth, and it just enjoys it. Okay, very good. So that is Hieronymus done. It will now come to you, Hakote.
Okay, so I've grabbed this cleaver. I then bring my head back and smash it into his skull, this horrific headbutt. And then all the while, I flick up one of the other axes and then drive it into his ribs.
Very cool.
We have a 5 plus 6, the headbutt does nothing. We then have 11 plus 6, 17.
That's a hit.
This is with the axe, as per the way I described it, so I'll roll the d6 this time. 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage.
Yes.
So he is not killed, but you...
Does he look very badly wounded?
Very badly wounded.
Then I will spend my last key point. And as I pull the axe out, I just do this perfect side kick right up underneath his jaw, and it lifts him up off the ground, snaps his neck on a 20. 12 plus 6, 18.
That's a hit.
It is a hit.
Nice.
We have a further 8 points of damage.
Yes, so exactly what you described happens. He is removed from existence.
I deaded him.
He's deaded.
Isn't that fun?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, very good. So now we'll come to... there's 2 left. Very good. So there's one there who is in combat with you, Jericho. So you're still trying to fight these guys off. He slashes out at you on a 7. Unlucky for some, he misses. And then the one that is still caught in combat with you there, Rin. So you've kind of landed, tried to do this attack over the top. As you land, he just swings out. So this one does have a meat cleaver, and he actually hits you in the knee, and he removes your leg. And then...
that's really unpleasant.
Cleave it to the knee.
You have no leg left.
I have a leg left.
Well, I have hit you, though.
Well, I know, but I've still got a leg.
We'll see. You do take a total of 8 damage as your leg is removed from your body.
I guess leg of Rin is on the menu, eh?
Oh, delicious. Okay, very cool.
It's pretty funny, I guess.
It's a lean meat.
Okay, so it does come back to Jericho now.
Right, so for the final time, I will bonus action move my Hunter's Mark to the last of these fools that have dared fight
This one
me.
is fresh.
He's fresh? Well, yeah, apparently so. So that's on 11, so I missed.
That's a miss.
That's the end of that.
That's the end of that
Oh,
chapter.
never mind.
Very
Oh,
good.
never
Well, we
mind.
do come back to Rin, who's now fighting with one leg.
Yes, please finish this person.
Okay, so this cleaver just cracks into my knee. I sort of feel it buckle. I go to one knee. I drive myself forward, just running the guy through with my blade. It's 15 plus 6.
That's a hit.
That is a total of 3 plus 4, 7 points of damage.
Now, he'd already been hit, this one, I believe.
Probably.
Yes, so 7 points, you say.
Kill him.
So he's not quite dead,
Kill him.
but he's not looking great.
Kill him.
I drive him off, booting him to the floor, and I just with my scimitar across his neck. No, I don't.
Oh.
It nearly stopped on the 19, but it in fact went to a 3.
It's your turn, Hieronymus.
Yes, it is. Great, thank you. All right. So, seeing that his ray of
You gonna
sickness...
feed any more of these goat people?
No.
Oh, you've had enough.
That's it. You get one. Everyone gets one. See there's that little bench next to me there?
Yes.
So what I do is I kick that in and smash it to bits.
Okay.
It goes, flies in the air, and I grab them in midair like I want to do, and then I go, it all goes into this chappy here, which I try to do the ray of sickness, who thinks I'm being nice to him. And all these shards of this bench just go and just kind of pindole him, and he dies. Because
Okay.
I'm doing magic missile at second level. He's getting
Second level!
all of it.
Wow, okay.
Well, he's fresh, and I want to make sure of this. Maybe. Let's see.
Burning through those second level slots.
Well, you know, I was conservative now, but I'm Hieronymus, so who cares?
Fair.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Rob. Yes, yes.
So 4 times 4 is, what's that, 16?
16.
Yes.
He is not dead, but he is very, very badly wounded. So it does come to Hakote.
Right. Seeing the horrific combat between Rin and this goat, and a cleaver being removed from Rin's knee, but then Rin slashing back and this thing is still alive, I erupt into action. I've kicked back up the other axe, which is on the ground. Both axes are in hand, and I leap up onto its back. And as I do, in order to maintain my position up on its shoulders, both axes have gone into either side of the neck.
Oh.
Goodbye. 17 plus 6, 23. 6 damage. 6 plus my 4, it's 10 points of damage.
So exactly what you described happens. The head goes dunk onto the ground and lands at your feet. There's only one left, but it will be me who gets to strike with my goat person. Now what the goat person is going to do
Kill them.
is turn on Hieronymus, so you will get an attack of opportunity on him.
Run him through.
Dead him.
20.
Yes!
So that's the trick. You just need to be stabbing people in the back when they're not fighting you.
This is it. Like
Right.
you figured out magic missile, I figured out attacks of opportunity.
If you'd like to roll your damage,
I'd love
but
to.
I'm fairly certain that you can't not kill him.
2d8 plus 2d6 plus 6. Just throw that out there. He might be dead.
I think he's dead.
Yeah, it's not a great roll actually, but so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 17 points of damage.
It's not a great roll, just
But it's fine.
No,
murders
as it turns and starts running towards Hieronymus, you just go and just chop its head off. It just goes, okay, sorry, please.
What
continue.
happens? I've been waiting for this. As he turns,
He's waiting for this.
absolutely riddled with these needles that you fired at him.
Yeah.
I'll drive my blade through his back, push him forwards, pick him up, smash him through the table, and you hear from one of the huts, "By God Almighty, he broke him in half!" This is where Jericho leaves the campaign.
He's peaked.
That's it.
His peach, yeah.
Well done. You have defeated the goat people.
Oh, that was
We'll
great.
be back in just a minute. The last of the goat men falls to the ground, or through a table, rather. As you do that, Jericho, you are suddenly hit by a foul-feeling sickness in your stomach. You drop to your knees, you projectile vomit everywhere, and you pass out.
It's unfortunate.
Overhead, you hear a and a light rain begins to fall around you. Sahid and Mumbabi are they seem to be all right. They're kind of standing there looking at the rest of you, but Jericho is unconscious. What do you do?
Well, being the one that was closest to him at the time and the one who was was assisted by our boy Jericho, I kind of start heading over to him to just to check on him to make sure he's still vital, and also signal to someone else to help him to help him to because I imagine we're going to seek shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'd like I go down to him, check him out, and see if anyone can help me help him.
So I'm standing over this corpse. The rain starts falling, starting to wash away all of the black ichor which is running down across my face. Put both of the axes into the belt loops. Can see that Rin's quite badly wounded, as am I. And I say to him, we should take shelter.
Yeah, I sheathe my weapons. I look at the rain, I look behind me at Jericho, at the corpses around us. I go, shelter would probably be a good idea, although your people, whilst hospitable, are terrible cooks. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself, and then I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on you as well.
Excellent.
So on myself, I heal 9 points, and on you, you heal 10 points even.
Wow.
Nice.
Awesome.
Very good for you.
Right, Hieronymus, it is good for me.
Yeah, that's fine.
And yeah, I'll head over to Jericho to so is he just like passed out?
He's catatonic.
Catatonic.
He's just completely, he's unresponsive.
I
He's still breathing, he's not dead, but he is unresponsive.
Can I make like a medicine check or something to like maybe ascertain what outside of the whole, he ate rotten meat type thing?
I mean, you can't, there doesn't appear to be anything visibly wrong with him, but he is just not there.
I motion to Mumbabi and you in, let's get him inside. And I go to take his legs and I motion to the church.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's the largest structure for us.
Yeah. So you enter, you kind of drag him in and you enter the church. The church is how you remember it. The altar to Viriana is there. However, her statue has been defaced. But other than that, it just looks like it has not been used for a very long time. There's cobwebs everywhere, dust is everywhere. There is no one inside.
We move him further up into the church near where all of the pews and the old altar was. Put Jericho down. I clear a space to effectively get our things out so that we can settle for a bit and see to our wounds. Turn to the rest of the group. Suggest that we take some rest here while we can.
Yes, so Euronymous just kind of settles down and as comfy a spot as possible and lights his pipe and just chills out. He's not far from Jericho actually, he's kind of keep an eye on him.
Okay.
I say, I do not know what those things were. They obviously were not in my village when I was a boy.
Doubtless a trick of the temple. They all had goat heads, right?
Yeah,
just
and we're naked.
Yeah.
Human bodies, naked human bodies, goat
right.
heads.
Why the goat heads, I wonder?
Who can say?
Who can say?
And it means nothing that they happen to be here in your temple. Your village and outside your temple. We encounter things that are at least somewhat related to our homelands. Whilst we were in the temple, before the heat trial, we encountered those monkey druid things. The Shenkar, the pygmies of Umbabi's lands. My people in my lands, the order of Jericho's. Even if you have not seen these creatures before, perhaps they are part of your tales, your folklore, legends, things that go bump in the night.
No,
Then you lie.
I do not lie.
Everything that we have seen in this temple has been related in some way, shape, or form to all of us. This is not random. This is not part of some trick. It is something that you are aware of, and you refuse to tell us.
Are you sure it's not something hidden in his mind that he is not consciously aware of?
Maybe it is something that you are refusing to bring up to your conscious thought.
Perhaps you should consider the fact that if he is refusing to relay information to us, perhaps there is a good reason for it. He knows what's at stake.
Good reason or not, he needs to have a think about what it might be.
If I knew what they were, I would tell you. I have not faltered once with any of you. Why do you now question me?
We are in the final trial. We do not know what it is that we are to face. You mentioned that your people are warriors. That is how you were raised. You were raised where victory means everything. Yet we find a broken village, a temple to Viriana, which is ironic in and of itself that there is a construction for the goddess of the wilds, and goat people. Which means that these, and I gesture outside, were either not your people, or you lied about that.
No. Although these, I'm referring to the corpses now bleeding outside, they were not my people.
Something different has happened. We are not outside the temple. You realize this? Every other time we have been transported to a point in our history. This is not that. But you recognize this place as where you were born.
Yes. And to put Ren's mind at ease, I said that this was my birth village, but I have not seen this village since I was a boy. I never returned. How am I to know what happened after I left?
Unless, of course, we have been sent far into the future, and maybe we have already failed.
Or perhaps that in and of itself is the trick of the temple. It does not wish to abide by its own rules.
How could we have failed? What could have happened?
I do not know.
We have not failed.
Of course not. For we are still here. However, anything is possible.
I apologize, my friend. This place is starting to get to me.
No need for the apology. I understand why you are weary. I do not have the answers for you, but as I said, I was not raised with those things. My people are no longer here. And it looks like they haven't been here for a long time. When I look around to the church. When I was a boy, it was warm in here. This was the heart of our village. This was where we would commune with the one that we called Mother. I wonder where she is now.
Sadly, probably with the rest of your people, long gone. That would be my guess. Hieronymus, how is Jericho?
I give a glance over at him. I imagine he's still just no good to anyone.
Yes. However, Jericho, while you sleep, At first, you've kind of just slipped into an area of nothing, but you begin to awaken, almost fighting back through your subconsciousness to bring yourself back to awake. As you do, you become racked with worry. You look back on your life and you realize that you have failed everyone that you ever cared about. It becomes a constant inner battle for you to carry on. Because what's the point? You'll probably fail anyway. You have gained an insanity called haunted by your failings. What this means is every time before you make an attack, you must roll a d12. If you roll a 1 or a 2, the attack will be at disadvantage. You then awaken.
When you awake, you see me kind of looking over, like checking on you. And you see me kind of put out your hand and going, "Easy, Jericho. Are you okay?"
I imagine on coming back, I'd pull myself up to an extent, probably on the floor, just sort of spit out what was left of what was coming up. Just sort of hold my hand up towards you.
We are safe. Relax.
He doesn't say anything.
And I relay that he's awake to the rest of the party, just in case they haven't seen all that.
I take a meditative seat, and looks like I'm trying to take rest.
How long would you all like to rest for?
A full rest if we could.
A couple of weeks.
I'd like a holiday, please.
Coconut drinks? You can rest as long as you want.
Well, I would like a full rest,
Yeah,
if that's okay with everyone else.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to explore the church whilst sort of the majority of people are resting. I'll do this as part of my sort of rest. If we're going to do a long hours, then I'll do it as part of the 4 hours I don't need.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
Well, I'm just kind of, I'm kind of checking the structure of it, like, you know, if there's any other ins and outs. I'm going to check to see if there's any sort of indication as to what's happened as well.
It's just empty.
It's just empty, ransacked, things like that. Okay.
No, not ransacked. It's like everything is just sat there.
Right. And the statue.
But the only thing is, the statue has been defaced.
In what way?
So it's been the face of Viriana has been carved off.
Right. Yeah. I sort of stand before it. It would be a fool to deface the gods. Of course, an edifice of the gods is questionable in and of itself. But that is the only thing that is damaged here. As if it was the only important thing to be here for. And time has just come to take everything else. Not unexpected, but interesting.
With Euronymous, he hasn't really moved from his spot. All that went down with Jericho. He's been just kind of smoking away at his pipe. The whole time he's kind of just been off in his own world, but he's kind of staring up at the statue. His look would suggest deeply contemplative before just kind of drifting off into a sleep.
Okay. Would anyone else like to do anything?
Assuming we've worked out watches and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can have that for free.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to have a quick chat with you.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we're on the same watch together or something.
Yeah. Why not? Did you do any alarms for us? No, you didn't. Very good. Apologies, Stu.
Well,
Very upsetting. I used to enjoy those alarms.
Tell you what, mate.
It made me feel very, very, very safe.
Yeah.
Tell you what. I'll even give you a nice little description. What he does just before he kind of dozes off, he takes a big inhalation of his smoke, of his pipe, and blows a cloud that just kind of hangs above towards the roof. I do cast alarm, and it's for myself to hear, to
Very
wake
good.
me up if something happens.
Okay.
Okay? How's that?
So you're just doing it to us. You're not telling us each time.
Huh?
You're doing it, but you're not telling us.
I get up and
He's secretly looking after you.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's okay. Just saying.
I get up and go, hey everyone.
I'm casting alarm.
Yeah.
Don't be alarmed, but I'm casting
Well,
alarm.
you see the kind of smoke cloud kind of rising up, and you thought, maybe that's him doing something, you know.
Very good.
Yeah.
You've gone to sleep.
I've gone to sleep.
Yes, go
I've
to
cast
sleep.
alarm.
Yeah.
Do the thing now.
So whilst we're on the watch, we seem deep in your trial, lad, but I don't see where this path is leading us. And you seem more confused than the rest of us. It concerns me.
Like I say, I was taken from this village when I was very young, a boy. I have not returned here since then. What this means, I do not know.
And you notice that I keep looking down at this new axe which I've got, which is actually paired with yours, and they're sort of sat across in front of me, and the sides either side. But I sort of regard them, and
The test has not come yet, but it will, I'm sure. Why we have been shown the birthplace where I was raised, I do not know. But my people have obviously long left this place.
We all found what we were looking for, or whom we were looking for. Who were you expecting to see here?
I'm not sure. It could have been my brother. But why I would see him here, I do not know. This place means nothing anymore. It never really did.
This is not your home?
No, this is not my home. They're all dead, aren't they?
Perhaps that's what you're here to discover, where your home truly is, if it's not here.
Maybe. Maybe. I know where my heart lies. This place is just a memory.
Well, you should follow that feeling. If this means nothing to you, we should move on.
As soon as they have finished their rest, we'll see what the lay of the land is. There was a forest that we began to see when we saw the village appear. In the forest there is a place that we could perhaps go and see. I'm not sure if that is what the temple is willing, but I do have an idea of where else we could try to go.
You'll figure out where to go.
Yes.
and then take the new axe, and I'm just regarding it. I don't say anything else.
We wouldn't have seen this, would we?
No. You've never seen that axe before. I just suddenly appeared with it. You gave me the other one.
Where did that come from?
You break my, it was almost a daydream.
This was my father's. I found it in my old home.
A sign, perhaps?
Maybe. It was the only thing in my home. Seems strange to leave but one item behind. And a weapon at that.
With that, you can sort of see that you're with your thoughts a bit, so sort of get up and continue the watch.
Okay.
Very good. So unless anyone wants to say anything else, you rest. In the morning you awake. Yeah, well, I mean, where are you going to take them?
So, as we step out of the church, I look up towards where the forest starts.
Yeah. Do you see it?
Yeah. I turn to them and I say, there was a place where my brother and I were found. It may have some significance, although I cannot be sure. But if we head to the forest, we may find out more. Or if not, perhaps something else will show itself.
You don't know, Hakote.
Because the heart of the village here, there isn't really anything else other than the scattered homes and then the farms, and then the plains where we used to do hunting. So, yeah, I start to go back through the village to get to the forest.
Sure. As you start, unless anyone has anything else to say,
No.
you seem all right, Ren?
Yeah, so since the morning, I've just been in deep thought. Every now and then, you sort of see like a chuckle, a wry smile. But I'm not saying anything. It's as if I'm trying to think of how to word it, basically.
You're all starting to freak me out a little bit, I'm just saying. Red lightning, and then it's just feeling very nervous.
Yeah. Well,
Haunted, you might say.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're
right,
failing.
right.
Yeah.
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 Well, what happens is, as you all start to move off, suddenly there is a howling gale that bellows through the village.
I stop at the minute that we're hit with this gale.
And it grows in intensity to a point where it's almost like you feel it could actually take you off your feet. And then suddenly, all of the huts and the church around you blow away like dust in a storm. You are enveloped, and then you land. You are suddenly standing in a desolate, rocky landscape. And then you see it. The Blood Temple. The obsidian black tower dominates the skyline. Clouds race past its zenith at abnormal speed. Its looming presence fills you all with dread. Fissures have opened down its side, illuminating fiery, pulsating orange light. It looks as though something or someone is trying to break free of their prison. Scattered on the ground around its base, you see piles of bleached white bones. What do you do?
Start laughing.
I'm hesitant to do much at the moment.
I'm just standing at the head of the group and I take it all in and look up at it.
So, this is where the trial ends.
Or perhaps where the trial just begins. Either way, I think I get it now.
That's when I hear you guys say that, and I kind of turn towards both of you and just throw you a look. Almost to say, I guess this is it then, is it? You know?
Well, yeah, so I was looking at it, and then when he said, I think I get it now, I turn and look at him.
Do you? Aye, I don't bloody get it.
Yeah, there's you two over there, and we're just sitting there going,
I'm going to go and put Baal out of his misery. He is a child, screaming, projecting against a parent or parents that do not love him. Consider our trials. Father figure, you slew him. Father and mother, I slew them. Hieronymus, you were a father figure, and you killed your own child, something that you made. Sahid, you had to kill your father. Mumbabi, you had to kill your father. Anak died in sacrifice for his mother. Baal is angry at the Demiurge for ignoring him. When the runt of a litter is left by the pack, it does one of two things. It rolls over and dies, or it rages, letting the feral beast within overcome it. It has no care for what it does. It kills for sport, out of anger, frustration. It is a service to the world to put it down. And I am going to put Baal down.
yeah, I hear that, look back up and then I take in all the piles of bones and I say, oh, this for an angry child.
Where that leaves you, I do not know. But we'll have to find out. I look at the blood temple. Whose father will we be slaying this day, I wonder?
Hakotay looks to the ground for a moment. And you see him, he's got his hand on the head of the axe, this new axe, which is suddenly, well, now Jericho sort of noticed it. Whether any of you would have seen me using this extra axe, but whether you sort of registered, I've never seen him use that
I've registered it's a new axe, but I'm not
sure, but you've not said
it.
anything. So you just see Hakotay's got his hand on top of the axe, and I walk towards the temple.
You walk towards the blood temple. As you get closer, you feel heat emanating from it. It hits you in waves. As you pass the bones, your heads are filled with a chorus of whispers. The dead speak to you from beyond the grave. You cannot make out what they are saying, but a feeling of foreboding pours into your souls. This place is cursed. Whatever malevolent being lurks within is filled with a malice like you have never felt. What do? Do you continue on?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just, as I'm hearing this, I kind of like start to hold our hands out like this and just kind of whisper to myself, like, welcome death and enter.
You reach the foot of the blood temple. Stairs lead upwards towards a large wooden gate. The stairway is lined with statues. Upon closer inspection, you see they are statues of Bahana, but each one is contorted in fits of pain, her limbs bent in unnatural ways, and her expression cries out in agony. Her eyes weep with blood that runs slick down the stairs. What do you do?
I sort of call out, is this what you would want to do? You would not have the strength to do this to Bohana, so you make these false images. Simply something that you wish to do, rather than something that you are able to do. Hiding behind images and whispers, too afraid to actually do anything. I just march up the stairs.
How big are the statues?
They're just normal, kind of. They're not like enormous. They're just like your kind of size.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine as I walk up the stairs as well and I'm seeing these statues, I start to kind of grimace. At first it looks like anger, but it starts to weaken into almost like a grief.
Sahid, he's kind of walking up the stairs. He's praying under his breath, calling to Samsoon for guidance to give him his light. Mumbabi he's just staring ahead at the gates. He's just not even looking side to side. He's just walking up the stairs.
I'm whoever's near me at the front hears me humming very, very gently. And it's the same tune that I played on on my flute, and that we heard as we approached the village of my birth.
Would anyone like to do anything at this point?
Yes. I take a vial from my satchel.
Mm-hmm.
You see me go gaunt for a moment, but then return back to normal. Casting False Life.
Okay.
1d4 plus 4, temporary hit points for an hour.
Sure.
6 extra hit points.
Okay.
For an hour.
You reach the gate. The heat you feel now is intense. A shudder of energy runs up the side of the temple, causing the fissures to widen. Stones fall around you. The temple is close to breaking point. The gate then opens slowly inwards. It is dark inside. The smell of rotting flesh envelops you. Do you enter?
I'm still at the head here. I step in first,
I'm just behind you.
Yep, same.
and my humming gets slightly louder.
Very good. Well, that's where we're going to end this session.
Oh!
We will be back next time for chapter 30. But until then, you keep being adventurers.